Hey guys, it's me Anjali and welcome to Anjali Reads. So, in my previous video, I talked about A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and I also mentioned a self-help book, the first self-help book that I've read, and it was recommended by someone whom I'm gonna introduce in my next video. So, I visited Kolkata's book fair with him. We should have visited there at 6 p.m., but we went there at 8 and we were pretty late. And at that time, all the international bookstores were closed, but we still managed to see a few books. So while we were discussing that why one should not read a self-help book because it doesn't help, he asked me to try one and recommended this. I want to die, but I want to eat this. So it took a month or two to pronounce this word correctly because when I was reading this book, I was actually pronouncing this word as tteokbokki. But when we visited a Korean restaurant, in the menu it was mentioned as tteokbokki. So basically, I'm gonna review this book. I Want to Die, but I Want to Eat tteokbokki by Baek Sehee. So let's get started. We all feel low, anxious, and sad. But still, we don't consider ourselves to be depressed, and it's really hard to understand our own feelings. This book helps when you are not feeling depressed or happy either. Um, the writer actually recorded the conversation between her and her psychiatrist and turned it into a book. Quote, even in my most unbearably depressed moments, I could be laughing at a friend's joke but still feel an emptiness in my heart, and then feel an emptiness in my stomach, which would make me go out to eat some tteokbokki. I wasn't deathly depressed, but I wasn't happy either, floating instead in some feeling between the two. And quote. Because we all have seen someone so fervent and zealous and they suddenly vanish into the thin air and we all end up being dumbstruck. It happens to me as well. When I'm at a crowded place, I always feel lonely and it's nothing to do with anyone or anything. But there's always this gaping hole. I also get sensitive to minute sounds, the gibberish voices of people, and I get sensitive because the voices echo inside me an empty shell. So the chapter 1 starts with these lines, quote, classic signs such as hearing voices, intrusive thoughts and self-harming aren't the only signs of depression. Just as a light flu can make our whole body hurt, a light depression can make our minds ache all over. Unquote. The book validates your emotions that others criticize. For instance, when someone is doing wrong to you, you always try to change them altogether to get yourself out of the misery. And the writer was going through the similar despair. Her psychiatrist advised her to ignore them altogether because it's impossible for a single person to right every wrong that come across in the world. If you are worrying too much because how you are being treated at your workplace or office, by your friends or families, in your relationships, or maybe you are having body image issues, this book is for you. The only thing I love about the book is it doesn't force you to feel good about yourself all of a sudden or like going gaga over life. It tells you certain things like a friend. I would like to rate it 10 on 10 because it's a therapy in disguise. Let's have tteokbokki.
Hey guys, this is me Kavan, and so I recommended this book I Want to Die, but I Want to Eat tteokbokki.
It's tteokbokki.
It's tteokbokki. So the thing with Anjali is that she keeps on reading novels by a lot of authors, and that is not bad, but I also think that Anjali should read self-help books, which is my domain. Most of my life I only read self-help books and I have never read a novel, so to say. I have read only first novel Cersei, which we will discuss in the next video. But so I only read self-help books, Power of Positive Thinking and You Can Do It by Shiv Khera. Then there's one book by Robert Schuller called Tough Time Never Lasts but Tough People Do. So there are a lot of books that I have read, and this is one of the book which fits perfectly with the Anjali's profile, because this book is not exactly self-help book, but it's kind of it's a form of a story come self-help book. So it helps you migrate to a self-help area where those who are avid novel readers do not have to just blindly go through the concepts which are already kind of in our mind when you go through a self-help book. So yeah,
It's not a conventional self-help book.
exactly, it's not a conventional self-help.
So bye guys, meet you in my next video where we're gonna talk about Cersei and how we read it and what are the things that we love. So bye bye.